Here, take it. Hey guys, so I just saw It, which is the new adaptation of Stephen King's famous novel, and it is directed by Andreas Muschietti, and I'm really glad I saw it. Now, I had actually decided to read the book before I watched the movie, and I was pretty excited for it because while I was reading the book, I went back and saw the trailers again, and I was like, oh, that's this character, this character. And I was really excited because I really thought that Andres Muschietti could do a good job. I mean, I actually haven't seen his other film that he made. This is his second film, and he's a great director. So it is about this clown named Pennywise who is killing all these kids, and he feeds off of their fear and stuff. And these seven kids band together who have had encounters with the clown, and they decide to come together to try to stop it. Now, as I said, I was pretty excited to watch this movie, but I was also very scared because there are some really, really good Stephen King movies, and then there are some, especially recent. But seeing the trailer for this movie, I was really excited. I thought it could be very well done. And I thought it was going to be awesome. Is it awesome? Hell yeah. Now, I had actually not seen the original miniseries that came out in 1990. But I had seen quite a bit of scenes from it, and it wasn't scary. I mean, I know the miniseries seems to be just sort of aimed at, younger kids. Whereas this movie is, they don't hold back. Like, this is truly rated R. Like, there's so much blood and gore in this movie, they didn't hold back. A lot of the stuff that I've read in the book that was very mature does happen in this movie, and I really loved that. One of the things I really liked about this movie were the visual effects. They are absolutely stunning. I mean, especially near the beginning when Pennywise is in the drain talking to Georgie, his eyes look like they're glowing, and he's sort of like moving. When he moves, it's really cool. And they use CGI in this movie, and when they use it, it works. It is really good. And the visual effects caused me to be pretty scared. I mean, there was a lot of scenes in this movie that did make me jump. I mean, that's not, but like, I mean, jump scares will always make you jump, but I'm saying there are jump scares in this movie, but they are handled very well. I mean, like, there's not like that many jump scares that, like, you're just kind of tired of it. There's not like false jump scares or anything like that. The jump scares are handled very well, and I felt that they were a unique addition to the movie that was really good because of how they were handled. And there are many moments of build-up tension too, and I really was in it was and it was so intense. I mean, you don't really get a moment to breathe in this movie because there's like so much scares. It's just one scare after the other, basically. Like, it doesn't stop. You don't really get a moment to breathe. There are some times where the kids are talking, and then you can sort of breathe. But then the scares start again, and it keeps going. I mean, some stuff in the trailers made me think that it wasn't going to be that great because some stuff in the trailers didn't look very scary. But in the movie, they made it scary. In the trailers, they just tried to show it not as scary, of course, but in the movie, like, there was a lot more blood to those scenes, a lot more unique ways of scaring people, and I really liked that. The acting in this movie was just great. I loved the kids in this movie. I loved the chemistry between them. All the young actors in this movie were awesome. Of course, Finn Wolfhard was really good in this as well. He's also in Stranger Things, you probably might know. And he did a very good job in this movie. He had a lot of there was a lot of times in this movie where he made me laugh quite a bit, and but it wasn't just him. He wasn't like the best. Like all of the kids had very good acting and strong performances. I absolutely loved these kids when they were together, and like if they were fighting. If they were fighting Pennywise or just, sort of talking, I loved these kids. The bullies in this movie, Henry Bowers, the whole gang, they were also great. I mean, there were times where it was so intense because if at times they could be scarier than Pennywise because you were just thinking, what will they do? Because Henry Bowers, of course, is such a bad person, but you see him and you just don't know how far he's going to go with what he's doing to these kids, and it kind of makes him a bit more terrifying than Pennywise because you don't really know with him what's going to happen. And another thing that was really great was the character of Al Marsh, Beverly's dad. He was creepy. I mean, he is Beverly's abusive father. He's not a good dad at all. I mean, and there was also, like the bullies, times in this movie where I was like, oh no, what is he going to do? So the bullies and Beverly's dad were actually sometimes even more scary than Pennywise because I was so tense in those moments. I mean, not that Pennywise wasn't scary or anything. I was really scared. But, there are moments where I found that the tension when the bullies or Beverly's dad were on screen was like equal to the amount of tension with Pennywise, or even more, because the acting is just great in this movie. Now, let's talk about Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård is pretty awesome as him. He's very scary. The miniseries that included Tim Curry, he had good acting in it, but I just thought he wasn't really that scary in the miniseries. I mean, of course, that miniseries was aimed towards younger kids, like I said before, but I just thought that this Pennywise was like an actual scary Pennywise. He was so great. He was very creepy and subtle, and I just really loved that. And I also didn't feel like one of the kids didn't need to be there or something like that, because they all had a reason to be there to fight Pennywise. They all had their encounters with him, and I thought that was really great about this movie as well. I thought that this movie was very accurate to the book as well. There were some things I recognized in the movie, and I was like, oh, I remember that scene from the book, but there was these little Easter eggs that only people who have read the book would understand and really recognize, and I really loved that about this movie. Especially near the end, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Pennywise mumbles something, and if you guys have read the book, you will know what I'm talking about, and it's really cool. So overall, I absolutely loved it. The acting was great, the kids' performances were just all across the board amazing. Beverly's dad was very creepy, so were the bullies. There were some pretty intense moments, and Pennywise was great. Bill Skarsgård, I'm just telling you, you are great as Pennywise. You are Pennywise in my mind right now. And I just love the visual effects. Everything looked great. The movie was well done. It was very accurate to the book. If the movie needed CGI, they used it well. It worked. And it is a masterpiece. I really do think that directors in the future who want to make horror movies will look back at this movie. There is a lot to love in this movie. I definitely recommend it. Please go see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And as always, have a great day. Peace out.